This video is sponsored by OWC. Apple has officially announced the newly redesigned, long-rumored MacBook Air earlier today at WWDC 2022 keynote. And if you want to see a recap of that keynote, you can click the card here in the upper right corner. But in this video, we're going to do a quick overview of everything you need to know about the latest MacBook Air from Apple. The new MacBook Air looks similar to the latest 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro models. So no more tapered edges from the MacBook Air, but now a more traditionally squared off approach. The notebook features a slightly larger 13.6-inch display with up to 500 nits of brightness, but contrary to all of the rumors and leaks, there's no off-white bezel or off-white keyboard. Instead, we have a black bezel with the notch and a black keyboard too. The keyboard is similar to that of the MacBook Pros and offers Touch ID and a full function key row. There's also no wild color options like rumors were suggesting, but we do get Starlight, Silver, Space Gray, and Midnight, which is probably the newest looking color out of all of them. Even though it's kind of like the black MacBook that we used to have back in the day. It's basically a matte black MacBook Air, or at least from the pictures it looks like that, and I'm completely here for it, and I love the way it looks. On the right side of the MacBook, real quick, there is a high impedance 3.5mm headphone jack, and on the left side, you have a MagSafe port and two Thunderbolt 4 ports. Now, inside the MacBook Air, we have the all-new M2 chip. And with that M2 chip, the new MacBook Air is available with an 8-core CPU and up to a 10-core GPU. The notebook can be configured with up to 2 terabytes of SSD storage, along with 24 gigs of unified memory. Apple says the new MacBook Air achieves up to 18 hours of battery life as well, and it's a pretty decent upgrade over the M1 MacBook Air, but where it would really shine are for those who are looking to upgrade from one of the latest Intel MacBook Airs and looking to get into Apple Silicon. Now you can choose between the M1 or the M2, depending on your needs. The new MacBook Air will be available next month, but no specific date was provided during Apple's keynote. Pricing will start at $1199 in the United States, and the previous generation MacBook Air with the M1 chip, as I said, will remain available now for $999. Honestly, this seems like a great option for those who just want the smallest and thinnest laptop that they can get, but with a little bit of extra power over the M1 MacBook Air, which again remains available in the lineup. So maybe this isn't something to upgrade from if you're happy with your MacBook Air, the M1 model at least. Now, maybe you're sitting there thinking, I wish this had just a little bit more performance and just a little bit more boost, then you can jump over to the M2. So if you're mostly someone who works on email and documents with a heavy bit of FaceTime calls, then maybe the M1's probably good enough. But if you do all of that and then some light photo or light video editing and you want to configure a slightly more powerful machine, then you can go with that M2 chip and then kind of tinker around with some of the other options to make it just as powerful for what you need without breaking the bank and going up to the MacBook Pros. Now, before we end today's video, I do want to give you more information about today's sponsor, OWC. The OWC Mini Stack STX is a stackable storage solution and Thunderbolt hub expansion for your Mac Mini, or really any Mac. With a universal SATA hard drive SSD bay and an NVMe SSD slot, you can actually expand your Mini storage capacity to gigantic proportions. 3 Thunderbolt ports are enabled for you to connect millions of Thunderbolt USB and future USB 4 drives, displays, AV mixers, cameras, and tablets, as well as desktop accessories like a keyboard, card reader, or mouse. The Mini Stack STX is whisper quiet due to its internal heatsink and cooling fan. You can add over 200 times more storage to your Mac Mini and add RAID protection via SoftRAID software. And of course, you're adding a mix of up to 5 Thunderbolt devices, 3 USB, and 2 displays. Even though this sized perfectly for a Mac Mini, as I said before, you can use it with any Mac, even a PC, or your iPad and Chromebooks. And so for more information about OWC and the Mini Stack STX, visit the link in the description down below. This has been Dan with Mac Rumors. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you around in the next video.